Get off my lawn.
Oh my god. It's starting. The sword's on the table.
Sure. There can be only one.
Yeah. We have it inscribed. Whoever grabs that sword first is going to stab their opponent and win immediately. We kind of made that an out.
I mean,
It is a physical combat scenario.
Might makes right, you know?
Yeah, we got... So this is Luke up top.
This is Luke.
He's on Secret Walk like we talked about.
You may not be able to tell because he has that mask on and his hair's a little longer.
Yeah.
But that is Luke.
He rarely gets a haircut. He's got that nice waves. He just lets it kind of go. And then Tanner on the bottom, coming in with Omniscitive. 4 color. You see we got triple box, true name. Like pretty much the stock points list for the 4 color decks right now.
Yeah. Yep. Well, like we said before, this is like the high rolliest of the high roll decks, right?
Oh, 100%. They're going to try to win very quickly, establish board presence, and Luke leaning into mana dorks to accelerate him. Tanner more leaning into this fast mana.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. Moxen are underpointed right now. And just his ability to muscle out threats.
Yeah, worth noting, this is best of 5. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Luke, I will say, his deck is super consistent. And I think, you know, having a best of 5 matchup like this helps Luke out quite a bit. And that's, you know, you don't have to worry about the high rolls quite as much when you have 5 games.
Yeah, you kind of have to let that go. If you do get high rolled and get torched in one game, you can kind of let it go, breathe it off, shuffle up, and go.
Yeah, and Luke has no tilt in him anyway.
Oh no,
You
that
know?
man is rock solid.
Yeah.
These both players are absolute stone cold.
Yeah, I don't know Tanner near as well, you know, so he's actually not as local as Luke.
Yeah.
He comes down, I believe, from Ames.
Yeah, we've got a couple Ames players. Ames just north of us here in Ankeny.
Yeah, we've got some Ames players. We've got some Cedar Rapids players here.
Yep. Sean and I coming in from the west side, Clive and Urbandale.
So people from all over the state. We've had people from other states. If you're in the Midwest and you're interested in Canadian Highlander, you should be here.
Come and check it out. It's lots of fun. Luke's got started already with a breeding pool and a Deathrite Shaman.
That is a good card.
Yep.
Starting it off with a lot. This isn't going to play a big part in beating Tanner directly as a hate card, but it does present an immediate inevitability.
Yeah, and notably, the Omniscitive deck plays a lot of fetches.
Yep.
You know,
Like
so,
he is right now.
Yeah, so it tends to be online right away, but they also have a lot of ways to kill things on the first turn. So
Is he on
we'll see
all
if he
10?
subscribes to the Bolt the Bird.
Not sure. So, the Deathrite Shaman kind of functions a lot more like a Planeswalker than it does a Mana Dork.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's a Mana Dork. Sometimes it's a way to kill your opponent without having to attack.
Yeah.
But like you said, Tanner just going to put tons of land in the graveyard with
Yeah.
all the fetching in the 4-color deck. So it's likely to be a Mana Dork now.
Yeah.
You can
And-
see Luke did not put a land into his graveyard, though.
Yeah, he was sort of betting his opponent would play one, I think. Like, he kept it with the understanding that Omniscient...
Even if his opponent didn't, it's still a fine thing to play on turn
Oh,
one.
100%.
Yeah.
If Tanner tries to fire off any sorcery or instant, Luke just gets to gobble it up at the end of his opponent's turn. I don't know if he has any black sources directly. And there's
Flame Slash is going to
Yes,
take
I believe
care
he has
of
4
Deathrite
black
Shaman.
sources in his deck.
He does,
When you
okay.
start looking at Mana Dorks plus, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so again, just to reiterate, we got Jeremiah with us in the booth today.
Yeah.
And then Blake,
Yeah.
and then me, Stefan.
Hey, if you're here, you want
Jack is also in the
hanging
room.
out.
Yep.
Please make sure you give us a follow. Go over to our YouTube channel. That's Old Cranky Man at YouTube. Subscribe to us there. All these videos get cut up, turned into VODs. Got all kinds of content up there. Players just exchanging land drops.
Yeah. Tanner trading that removal there, how much do you think that was impactful? Like, should he have traded that?
I mean, Luke didn't play anything on turn 2 or 3.
That is true. Maybe he was going for a 4-drop. So Luke has sort of said that he has a critical mass of mana that he needs to launch the combo off. And I
Right,
think
you need
it's 6.
you need 6 mana.
6 mana to cast Seeker, get Ephemerate, cast Ephemerate.
Yeah, I think Tanner is going to just use his mana in the most efficient way possible every time he can.
Yep, that's the
Okay.
goal. That's the goal of that deck for sure.
Yeah, he sees a Flame Slash target, he casts a Flame
Luke
Slash.
Luke most likely has a 3-drop in hand. So he started on turn 1 with the Deathrite Shaman. He had the untapped second land.
Oh, yeah.
So Deathrite Shaman, if it would have lived, he likely would have played the 3-drop on turn 2. And because Tanner killed it, he time walked Luke twice.
Yeah, and Luke is on a lot of initiative creatures. There's the Findhorn Elves.
Yeah, and it looks like Tanner's maybe sitting on kind of a reactionary hand. He's got a Force of Negation and a Lorien Revealed. Here goes the Lorien Revealed.
Yeah.
I don't. Does Tanner have a Murktide in his deck?
We can
that's a
take
good
a look
question.
real quick and see if Tanner has a Murktide in the deck.
I don't believe he does. He doesn't have a ton of instants and sorceries.
Yeah, because you can see by his points list, he's really not playing any of the Delve stuff.
No.
So he's not maybe.
Tanner does have a Murktide
wow.
Regent in the deck.
So that's actually really cool. Like, I like that as a clutch play.
Yeah, and that's a reason to deal with the Deathrite Shaman right away, even if it's only getting lands. It's slowing down your
And
Murktide.
also, to correct you a little bit, there are lots of instants and sorceries, a total of 29.
Wow, he's
So-
way higher than I thought.
All of the best removal and counter magic are in Tanner's
How many
deck.
creatures is he on?
26.
So there
wow,
are
that's
kind
way
of two
fewer than I
different
was
versions of
assuming.
the deck, and one is
Yeah.
a lot more controlling, and that's where
Okay.
he's
Yes,
at right now.
yeah.
I think that the versions of this deck I've seen played before are much more creature heavy.
Tanner has a couple of spicy includes from the new Lost Caverns of Ixalan deck. Malcolm, Alluring Scoundrel. It's a 2-mana 2/1 with flash and flying. And when it
attractive.
deals combat damage to a player, you put a chorus counter on it, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 4 more chorus counters on Malcolm, you may cast the discarded card without paying its mana cost. So it's basically when it deals combat damage to player, you get to loot.
Yeah, and this is Luke or
This is in Tanner's deck.
Tanner's deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's about a mana efficiency. It's a flash flyer.
We got the Mox Ruby coming out on turn 4. Not exactly.
It also, gets to deal the damage. Malloc
Oh, it's just going to eat
This is
Moloch.
an X equals
X
1.
equals 1 here.
So, and it does eat it if it.
And a remand
Remand.
from Luke is going to send that back to hand.
And he doesn't have the mana necessary to recast it. He's got a green and a blue. He has.
Tanner also brought with him today a Tashana's Tidebinder from the new LCI set. We saw this card do a lot of work in the Modern
Oh,
tournament
yeah.
yesterday.
Stifles. baby.
I know I put one in my Jeskai Slushy deck. Haven't drawn it yet, but the card is just so good.
Yeah.
It's like this sort of what is the bird called? That when you cycle it, you can
Nimble
stifle
Obstructionist.
something. It's like that, but man, it can permanently silence.
So this
We are
is
neoforming.
yeah.
So we can
Death.
neoform for a 3-drop. That will get a Spell
Seeker.
Seeker, and then we would have 1 mana to cast Ephemerate,
Ooh.
and 2 mana to cast Time Walk. So this would be a combo, but Tanner has evasive action to counter it.
This is the only deck that plays that spell. I've seen it only on
Evasive
the 4-color
action
decks.
is
so good.
the domain counter spell. So pay it unless you counter it unless you pay 4.
Which is for 2 mana and it's not double blue, basically effectively a hard counter.
100%.
It's so good.
Thanks for joining us today. This is the Lawnlander Championships here at Game Castle in Ankeny, Iowa. Please make sure you give us a follow. If you're into Canadian Highlander or any other content, we had a big modern tournament yesterday. Plenty more coming in 2024. Go check us out on YouTube. Old Cranky Man Collectibles at YouTube.
And this is game 1 of round 1, untimed best of 5.
Yep.
Yeah. So what do you think about the neoform? You think that was just a bait? You think that was bait?
No, that was you trying to
If
win.
Tanner doesn't have interaction there, if shields are down, Luke just wins.
Correct.
Yeah, he's holding up double blue. Luke is a pretty smart fella.
Yeah, I don't think that
Yeah.
you can't wait. You have to go for it.
Yeah.
Because if you let Tanner get his legs out from under him and really start deploying some heavy threats.
Yeah, and he knows that the Elvis is dead anyway, right? The
Right.
Rowlock's in hand. He's remanded it.
Correct.
Right.
That's what makes me think maybe it's a little bit of
You think so?
bait there.
He is at 5 mana. He needs 1 more land drop, and then if he has a Spell Seeker, he wins.
Yeah.
And like you said, like that's not the worst card to get countered. Knowing
And
that,
knowing that your
Yeah.
creature's going to die anyway. Yeah.
yeah, Tanner may want to wait to deploy the Moloch now. Like you said, he likes to be mana efficient and play threats as he has them and answers as he has them. Moloch represents both of those things. Does he just want a threat, or does he want to do something else?
Oh, so actually, he neoformed a Fyndhorn Elves.
Right.
So he can only go get a 2-drop.
Right, that's what I mean. I don't think he was going to win the
Oh,
game.
really?
He can only go get a 2-drop.
Oh, I was thinking
of Eldritch Evolution.
Yeah, I was thinking E.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. Because normally he neoforms.
Yeah,
the-
it was probably most certainly him just trying to get the most use out of his Fyndhorn Elves as he possibly could. What does Luke have in the 2-drop spot that would have been impactful there?
something with hexproof, maybe a Sylvan Caryatid.
You know, something that draws a card, maybe.
Yep, he does have the walls in the deck, the
Yeah.
Wall of Blossoms
Yeah.
and the Wall of Omens.
Even Wall of Roots, if he's really trying to hit a certain amount of mana and he's, you know, I don't know what's in his hand.
Oh, there's the recruiter.
Oh, he also has Coiling Oracle, Fairy Mastermind, Fauna Shaman.
That would.
That's a combo in a can.
Yeah. So this
But
is
he knows
also
he's not going to
combo card.
untap with a Fauna Shaman. That's the thing.
Fiend Artisan. Yeah, that's true.
So I'm going to point out, Luke can't combo now, off of just a Spellseeker. Neoform's in the graveyard. He needs Neoform in the deck in order to combo with just a Spellseeker.
No, you don't.
Because he uses
You can go get Finale of Devastation or Green Sun Zenith and do the exact same thing.
if he has enough mana for it.
He does.
But it's the
Once you have 6 mana to do the Spellseeker Ephemerate thing, any one of those 3 cards wins the game. Green Sun Zenith, Finale of Devastation.
you're right. Yeah.
Or Neoform. All 3 of them win.
Because you can Finale for the Eternal Witness.
Yep.
Get it back. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yep, and if you have the 6 mana to do the Spellseeker Ephemerate thing, you have the 6 mana to cast either one
That
of those
is correct.
cards.
Yep, you're right. This is just the most efficient way to do it. that I've
Yeah,
seen.
Neoform is the most efficient way to do it because it's only 2 mana up front.
Yeah, this is the one that I generally see Luke kill me with. So
Yep.
yeah. I forget the green just has so many, and like even stuff just like Eladamri's Call like is great for whatever you need it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I guess as a fourth potential option, I mean, you need a way to draw a card to actually make that work.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Oh no, Eladamri's
does
Call
to
puts
hand.
it to hand.
Yeah, that card's messed
so
up.
that does work too, actually.
Yeah, and Luke does have perfect mana here. There's no reason to.
It's likely if Luke did use this card as a bait spell, I would guess he probably has Eternal Witness in hand.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I've seen him get a lot with this card is just White Plume Adventurer. Just like go get White Plume, cast White Plume.
With which card?
Yeah, Recruiter can't
Recruiter.
get it.
Recruiter.
It's a 2 toughness. It's a 3/3.
It's a 3/3.
Oh, I thought it was a 3/2.
Yeah, a lot of
Why
times
is that card
he'll
so
end up with
good?
a Solitude or...
Oh yeah. What is the Spirit?
Skyclave Apparition.
That's
yeah.
where he gets
Luke
hot.
does love Skyclave Apparition.
He really does.
So now he's going to play this X5, draw a card off of it because it has Ravenous. Mode doesn't come up a whole lot, but when it does, it feels amazing. It's a 7/7. 7/7, 3 for 1.
Yeah.
can
This
kill
may
that.
be the spot that Luke is looking for, but he does not know that Tanner has a Force of Negation in his hand either.
Oof. Yeah, Force of Negation on a Time Walk is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because Luke's going to assume he's tapped out here. If he can go for it, he'll go for it.
Well, he knows that Tanner has all of the free counter magic in his deck.
Yeah, do we play around it, though, is the question.
I don't know. Probably getting rid of the 7/7 Malloc is a bigger deal
What is that?
than trying to kill
that's
him.
a
That's a
Mother
Mother
of
of Runes.
Oh, it's Mom. Okay.
And Luke's just going to pass
it-
back
play
over
it
to
safe.
Tanner.
Holding 5 mana. What do we think? Solitude? You think there's
Solitude, yeah.
Could be. Do you know what he recruited for?
I didn't see it.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'll find out.
I'm not sure if he even flashed it or if he just verbally.
It was on the table in front of him just outside of the camera.
Gotcha.
I'm sure he showed it to Tanner.
He got a Solitude.
Okay, it is Solitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sort of weirdly they made the creatures that come in and remove other cards 2 toughness. The Solitude and the Skyclave Apparition just able to nuke anything on the table.
Yeah. And removal effects too. You know, they're exiled too. They're not just.
It's very good. Yeah. Skyclave returns you a kind of dumb body, but it is what it is. You don't care.
The flexibility there being it can hit any permanent 4 mana or less. You know, so it could get your Rang. You know.
Yeah, it's also Luke doesn't care about you gaining any life. Like he doesn't care what your life total is. He'll kill you eventually.
Real quick update for you on the other tables.
Yes.
Mitch just told me that Sean committed a hate crime against him. He cast a meltdown to win game number 1. So Sean up a game in Mitch versus Sean.
Oh, nice.
Ryan, who brought the Omni Show deck today, is up a game against Jake.
We're making
And
changes.
Travis is up 2 games against Joe.
Oh, wow.
All right. So Luke, I believe this is Get Lost. This is one of the new Epsilon cards.
Yes.
So he's cast a Get Lost targeting this Moloch. This destroys it and would give him 2 map tokens.
I like a card that tells you what to say when you cast it.
Yeah.
Get lost.
Like, you didn't say please or get lost. You just get to say it as you cast it. So good.
All right, so the Moloch is lost.
Presumably.
Yeah.
Graveyard is being lost.
We've got 2 maps into play for Tanner.
Yeah, a map worse than a clue by far.
I have been doing some sweet things with Rakdos Sack and map tokens, so I'm enjoying it.
I think that's a very specific sack.
I've been having a lot of fun in Pioneer with map tokens and Rakdos Sack.
Yeah, Blake is in love with Rakdos and Pioneer. Ooh, a Fury.
No, I just love
Hardcast
Cauldron
Fury.
Familiar.
Yeah.
This Fury can get
Oh,
pretty
that's right,
nasty
yeah.
if it explores and gets some counters on it. It's going to be a pretty quick claw.
Oh,
Was
that's
the
right.
Was the Mother of Runes already?
It was summoning sick.
summoning.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
still summoning sick.
Yeah, he
So
just
Luke
put it
just
last
didn't
turn.
use the 5 mana.
No.
Or he only cast the Get Lost.
He just has to get lost.
So he still has the Solitude in hand.
I bet he has a counter spell in hand.
Well, he has the Solitude in hand because that's what he.
That is true,
That's what he
yeah.
went and got with the Recruiter.
So now he can Solitude the Fury. Oh, he can copy the Fury.
Phantasmal Image, another one of the best cards in Luke's deck against this Omniscitive deck. Because all of his opponent's insane creatures, Luke gets to have them in his deck as well.
Copy effects are just so incredibly good. So what's interesting is Tanner didn't crack the maps there. He could have cracked them in response.
They're sorcery.
There's sorcery speed.
Oh, it's only sorcery speed. That's right. Wow.
But he left the man up for an Eldamri's Call.
Fair enough. So now we can just get a Solitude to deal with my opponent's Fury?
Eldamri's Call is really the card I feel like holds these Omniscitive decks together.
Yeah.
It holds a lot of creature
You know,
combos.
it's
creature
oftentimes
strategies.
just their most powerful top deck is an Eldamri's
Oh,
Call.
nobody's call, yeah. Yeah, Eladamri's call, one of the few tutors that's not pointed in Canadian Highlander.
I've jokingly said Eladamri's call to 1, and I'm pretty sure everybody in the room screamed at me in unison. I was like, maybe Eladamri's call to 1, and I'm pretty sure at least 6 people screamed at me.
Yeah. That's how you know you're in a room full of initiative players.
Yeah. It's just like sort of a messed up card. It tutors to hand, it's instant speed, it costs 2 mana. Is it in 2 colors? Yeah, but it's 2 colors that make mana like
It's like
water.
the 2 best creature colors.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Shocking.
you know, with some of the design choices over, let's say, the last couple of years, it's also, you know, you're tutoring a removal spell, you're tutoring, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
not
toolbox
just-
card.
Yeah, it's
he
not
gets
that.
an Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath.
All right. So this is sort of the, hey, we're going to grind signal.
Yep, we are settling in for a very
Yeah.
very long game of Magic.
That's
I think.
omniscitive in a nutshell, right?
And I
Settle
think,
back.
you know, we voted for which match to watch for the first round.
Yeah.
And
This is the most likely one to take the longest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why I got a lot of votes, I think. There's a lot of Magic in this round. If we had watched one of the other rounds, it's likely we would be waiting for this to end before we started the stream back up.
Yeah, this was
100%.
just probably correct to have. If we'd had Travis in here, we'd be watching Game 3 right now.
Yes.
Going, oh Lord.
Yep.
Uro, though, another card that sort of signifies maybe why Tanner did prioritize that Deathrite Shaman early. You know, he doesn't want
I
to
like that. Yeah. He doesn't rely on his graveyard, but it's so nice to have.
Yeah, he wants to have a certain mass of cards in there. It doesn't really matter what they are, but you know, he needs to have some number of cards in there.
Correct. It certainly wasn't the wrong choice.
Yeah.
So Luke still has a good position here. His opponent's at 20, but he has a Fury. And, like, good cards in hand, presumably. Tanner has the ability to gain some life and cast this Uro again. I think... Does he have
has
enough
a
mana
white
to do
plume.
it this turn?
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
white plume in his hand.
Definitely does have enough.
But does he want to use it? Because he knows.
Well,
he's
if
gonna lose the
Uro
game.
hits the second land drop, he can. No, he can't. Did he
not.
play his land for turn
Yeah,
yet?
he has.
I don't think he did. So he can play his land for turn, and then escaping Uro, and if that yields us another land, he can do both.
Yeah. I believe he put a land into play with the Euro trigger.
Right.
but
He has not
used
played
the
a
same
land
card.
Oh,
for
I
turn.
see, I see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's both players. Tons of lands in play. Lots of cards in graveyard. Not a lot in play. Like not a lot of creatures or game objects outside of a couple maps and a mirror image of a Fury.
Yeah, they've been just killing each other's creatures, basically, you know, in
So-
chance against. So we're going for this white plume to guarantee the
Yeah.
land drop.
This is sort of
If you've never been here before, welcome to the Undercity.
yeah.
The first room is going to let the player take the initiative and go find a basic land out of their deck.
Yeah.
Then they can scry 2 or put 2+1/+1 counters
we-
on a creature.
Are we dress downing?
Then potentially. After that, we can create a treasure token, go to creature, or what is the other one?
So the next rooms are
Becomes a,
+1/+1 counters to scry 2, and then it's goad token 5 damage.
5 damage,
And then
that's
it's
what the other one is.
Make
yeah.
a 4/1, draw a card, and then it's Throne of the Dead 3, and that's where you reveal the top 10. Pick a creature, put it in play, it has hexproof, has 3 +1/+1 counters.
Yep.
I've done this a lot.
Yep.
So the white plume gets solituted here. This is Luke saying, I want the
Unsurprised.
initiative. You know?
Yeah,
Which Luke does have initiative cards in his deck.
Yeah.
Well, Tanner will still get to take the initiative here, but then
Correct.
Luke will get to take it back with just 2 mana in play.
Yeah, no chump blocker. He needs more than just a body, basically, now to stop Luke from getting the initiative.
Yeah. So Tanner does get to go pull a land out of the deck still. So Tanner already played his Fury. A Pyrokinesis from Tanner here would be able to clean up both of these creatures.
Yeah, we know he doesn't have it. He's got blue cards in hand.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, because he has
he's got
Force of Negation.
Force of Negation and another blue card.
Sure.
I didn't see what it was, but...
If you're just tuning in, this is the Lawnlander Championships Canadian Highlander Tournament. Go ahead and give us a follow here and head over to YouTube as Old Cranky Man Collectibles on YouTube and subscribe there for all of the upcoming action in 2024. These players have been playing Canadian Highlander all year long to earn their spots here. 8 players, 3 rounds, best of 5. Right now you're watching Luke Sheeley piloting Seeker Walk against Tanner Leiting playing Omniscitive.
Yeah, so this is a 9-point swing here. Not insignificant, and Luke taking the initiative.
Yes. And so Luke, if he was able to keep the initiative for 2 turns, his opponent would just be dead, right? Because of the lava axe.
Yeah, the 5 damage.
The lava axe room.
Yeah, and this is the
Trap
thing
is what it's called.
about Luke's deck. there are a lot of creatures in his deck, and he
Yes.
will just kill you by attacking with.
Absolutely.
I believe it's called
know.
the Trap House.
Yeah, I mean, you look at you look at his points list and you think, okay, well, I'm gonna get comboed out, but that's just a lot of the games he
Yep.
wins. He just is beating you.
You ever been killed by a Soul Herder that's a 12/12? Yeah.
He was killing me with a Spellseeker
Oh my
Friday
God.
night, powered by a Seasoned Dungeoneer trigger, because it's a wizard.
It's a wizard.
Yep.
Spellseeker's a wizard.
He gets to explore on every hit. Why wouldn't you want to explore?
It explores when it attacks.
It attacks.
Yeah.
Oh my! And it makes it unblockable. Protection from creatures.
Seasoned Dungeoneer is bananas.
Yeah. And we're
Oh,
early.
Tanner
Okay.
is going to escape this Uro, so 5 cards are going to have to get exiled. He's
Yep.
going to draw fresh one off the top, gain 3 more life.
I think he's just muddling
I
on
don't.
the last
I
card.
don't know if did Tanner take 9?
He I believe so, because Luke took the initiative. But they're not using. I don't see it on the companion app. They both have pads of paper.
Okay.
So I think he's actually at 14.
Let me
Yeah, it's
verify life totals. real quick.
Going back up to 17 here, I believe.
Okay, no, he's correcting it now.
Yeah,
we got it.
there we go.
Yeah, Luke got it.
Perfect.
Luke, responsible Magic player, tracking life totals. Okay. So now we've got the trigger from Uro coming into play. So Luke still has the initiative right now.
Correct.
He does.
This Uro is summoning sick. Tanner's sort of, I don't know if he's in a bad spot, but he definitely is at a point where he's like, I did this to myself. I introduced the initiative, and now it's hurting me.
Yeah. However, so this run in 6 can kill the Fury, right?
Yes,
All he
it
has to do is
will.
target.
It will
Target
kill
it,
the
yeah.
phantasmal image. Yep.
Which I like. That's such a good play.
Tanner did this heads up, right? Like he knew the Solitude was in hand. He knew, he was sort of daring Luke to pull the trigger.
Yep. Put all of your cards onto the table so that I can handle him, and then I'll clean up afterwards. He still has 17 life, and that's plenty to play with. With the double striker off of the table now and just a 3/2 lifelinker in play against the 6/6, Luke is going to need to top deck something good here.
What do we got in Tanner's hand there? I see a preordain.
Preordained Force of Negation, and I'm not sure what that third card
There
is.
It's
we
a
got
ponder,
preordain.
actually.
Oh, ponder, sorry.
Yeah.
So top 3 cards are an Prismatic Ending, a Comet Stellar Pup, and an Omnath. So what a top 3.
You take Comet here, right?
Holy cow.
I feel like you have to take Comet. Omnath is
So-
great, but Comet is busted.
This is what we were talking about with these being this Omniscient deck, the top decks being so powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not shuffling this. In a million years, we're not shuffling
100%.
this.
Yeah, no,
Next
that's
turn,
just
he's going to
heater,
draw the
heater, heater.
Omnath. He'll be able to cast both,
And he's got the Force of Negation to protect here. Now,
which you can hard
sure,
cast.
I'm not sure he has 2 blue up right now.
He does
but-
not have 2 blue up.
He's going to scry 2. Okay, Luke's looking for the win. He's not. He doesn't want to commit to this
So-
one creature.
Yeah, you're at this point in the game with Initiative, and they cast a Ponder and don't shuffle. You know you've got to
Oh
do
yeah,
something.
he's
Right,
signaling
yeah.
his
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with so much mana readily available to him, it's just, it's got to be,
Like, all these cards are bad, and then Lucas also has to consider, am I going to get 4th Aerolingus?
right.
Oh yeah, that card is.
It can just kill you out of nowhere for sure.
It'll take the initiative and kill your opponent all in one shot, and
Right.
it redraws the card that you got. How would you like a card that does literal everything? It scales to whatever point in the game that you're at. It attacks with hasty creatures. It gives you a card draw from the Monarch, and
Yeah.
it scales to literal whatever mana that you have available.
You can pick up the sword, hold it up, and just, yell Rohirrim.
Yeah.
as you do it.
Yeah, and strike
know?
your opponent across the neck. End the game quickly.
Here is a Cosmic Rebirth that's going to put a Phantasmal Image into play.
Okay, we're going to
Alright,
copy the
so-
Solitude.
Yep.
Okay, here comes
We're
the Force of
targeting, yep.
Negation. Okay, good.
Looks like Force of Negation is going to take care of this Cosmic,
Cosmic
Rebirth.
Does Cosmic Rebirth have flashback?
It does
No.
not.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else from.
Savine's Wreck, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I mean, a little bit, but
They're all very similar effects.
Yeah.
This one is an instant that gains you 3
it's
life.
messed up. Savine's Wreck, I wouldn't be surprised if Luke had in his deck also. That card is just very, very good. It's great it's great on the front end, fantastic on the back end. Hits basically everything in Luke's deck. I've seen it a lot in Storm decks because you get to get it with
Intuition
your-
or Gift Ungiven.
Bingo.
And you can create a Lion's Eye Diamond breach pile with so much inevitability.
Yeah, there's no way to come back from that. it's such a cool design card. You still need 5 mana to cast it from the back end, but then you get double of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Luke still in a hard position here.
One of those cards that's responsible for making Intuition a 1-card win.
Oh, we're
Yes.
ephemerating. Okay.
All
So
right.
Ephemerate's going to hit the Solitude. It's going to exile the Uro.
Yeah, Solitude,
gain
the,
6 life.
the little ball of fire that could. What is Solitude anyway?
It's an elemental. It
Is
represents
it a ray of
loneliness.
sunshine?
No,
Solitude is paradise.
Oh, this is Jeremiah talking. Yeah.
I think it's a ray of sunshine.
Yeah, look at this. I don't have to talk to people. It
Yeah.
literally created an empty board state so that it can concentrate.
I would
It's
be,
like,
a,
finally,
I
I
would
can
be a
think.
real life hermit druid if I could. Yeah.
Holy cow! How many lands does Tanner have in play?
They both have an
2,
absurd amount of
3,
lands.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Are we 4th Aerolingus?
Yeah, you can go.
Is this,
No, I think
Comet.
we've got the Comet or the Omnath. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe
Comet.
it's back to back.
10 lands in
It's
play.
so many.
Yeah.
I don't think he exiled all the lands from his deck. So here's Comet.
Yeah.
Now, how many 6s can we roll?
I've only cast this card 3 times, and every time I've cast it, I think I won the game.
There's a 2. So he's gonna make some hasty swirls. For
If you're
competition.
just joining us now, thanks for hanging out. This is the Lawnlander Championships, Canadian Highlander
Still game
Championship.
one.
Here, these players have been playing all year long to get to this point. Top 8 tournament here. They're playing for the Lawnlander sword. They're playing for their share of $1,200, and we are watching the quarterfinals right now. It's Luke playing Seeker Walk versus Tanner playing Omniscitive. The pointed cards are on the right-hand side of your screen there if you're curious. Still playing game number 1. Tanner's going to make some squirrels and take the initiative away from Luke.
so
Yeah,
good.
so these squirrels better than you think. You know?
Yeah, they have haste.
They have haste, and notably, if Luke blocks with Solitude, Ren and 6 will kill Solitude.
Correct. Yeah, that was smart on Luke's part to not go for that bait. I want you to notice Luke's posture here, head in hand. This is so typical of like when he's settled into a long game.
Yeah.
he just gets comfortable physically at the table.
Yeah, you can nearly smell his brain right now.
Yeah, it's
just
cooking.
cooking. Yeah.
Yeah, let him cook.
yeah.
So is it Omnath time?
I would imagine so. I think he wants to hold this initiative, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's
there
Omnath.
it is.
So now he's going to draw a card.
It's interesting that with the Uro, he escaped all of his lands. It
Yeah.
makes his Ren and 6 a little bit worse here.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that the life gain is huge, but you really generate a lot of.
Oh,
extra
we're
mana.
cycling the
Oh.
Fury. Okay.
So we found a way to use this Ren and 6 anyway.
Yep. We cycled the Fiery
Fiery
Island,
Island, yeah.
the Islet. Yeah, the mode
This
of
is
those.
quite the grind engine now.
Yeah, they're both on it.
And I'm not sure what Luke has yet. I didn't catch his scry if he went top either.
Yeah, I don't remember.
We do have the ephemerate rebound here.
Nice. So we get to hit the Omnath. Tanner will gain 4.
Yeah, and this is another one of these.
Ooh, we're stifling it. We're stifling the ETB.
Nice.
That's great. Like this is if
That was the blue card that's been in hand for quite a while.
Yeah.
I did not identify that. But yeah,
so. Now we have the Ephemerate in the graveyard.
yeah.
We're sitting on some like real tough lines for Luke to combo. We've lost a lot. Like the Ephemerate is pretty important.
All right, here's
Ooh,
another
now
map.
he's going to take the initiative. So what's he going to do? Make the treasure?
He's going to goad. He's going to goad here because he wants to get over to archives on the other side to draw the card.
Got
next
it.
turn. Yeah, so he's going to goad, and I'm guessing he's goaded this Omnath.
Omnath, yeah.
Because he would like to kill that, if at all possible here. But we'll see. Comet sometimes pretty good guard dog.
So Omnath is a 4/4.
Yeah,
Is he just going to double block it,
I think that's his plan. Yeah.
or just let it go? Take 8, swing back in. I mean, he doesn't really care about the mana from the.
Yeah.
What room is Tanner in right now? He also scried too.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he takes the initiative back, he's going to be deciding whether to goad or make a treasure.
I think he'd probably make the treasure.
I don't think he needs the mana.
Oh, you don't think so?
No. I think
But-
the goad over to the draw card in the archives is the way to go.
This is the first time I've ever seen somebody goad.
Yeah, it's just to go diagonal across the dungeon there.
You know, oftentimes I just say went
Yeah.
instead of goad. That feels like more proper English. Why would you say goad when you
man.
could say went?
MTG Dad's here, busting out the dad jokes. There's a podcast full of this stuff.
Oh my god.
You can find it on YouTube
If you can handle it.
if you can handle it.
I do tend to make some pretty heinous jokes.
Yeah.
So we've made some more squirrels.
Yeah.
Squirrels for days. This is sort
train.
of a paradise for Comet the dog. We got a judge call. Dakota's coming over. We're trying to figure out what to do. We're checking graveyards. What's the card he's checking there? Is that Dress Down? Or is that the Get Lost?
Maybe Get Lost. I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure.
he's probably checking the maps to see what they do. Because this is a newer card.
Yeah.
We're exploring.
Yep.
Is it a land?
it
Nope.
doesn't-
He gets to
no.
put the counter on the creature.
What is that?
That is a pyrohemia. It's not pyrohemia. It's the one. It's
Pyrokinesis.
the pyrokinesis. The one.
Gotcha.
It's the pitch fury.
I always see the old art on this card.
Yeah.
So
That's what I have too.
this card pretty good here, and gonna have access to it with the Fiery
Yeah.
Islet.
He's going to
wants
deploy both maps. Pump that up to a 6/6, and now he doesn't get to double block. Well, it'll still double block, but he'll be able to take both creatures with it,
Yeah.
which is ideal. This is sort of a rough spot for Luke.
A lot of high power cards in play.
Yeah, we got Comet.
One sitting on the top there.
Yeah.
That holding up that pyrokinesis probably makes it very difficult for Luke to combo off and win the game.
I always think pyrohemia, but that's the color shifted
Pestilence.
pestilence.
Yeah.
That it feels very on brand for red and for black.
Yeah. Tanner sacking the Silent to draw the pyrokinesis.
Yeah, why?
And this makes the double block just undoable here
This is a really rough spot for Luke.
if he wants to be aggressive about it,
We're just
here we
hard
go.
casting it. 6 mana.
Yeah.
Deal
Just
4.
down this Undermounted Adventure.
So at this point, Luke's probably going to eat one of the squirrels and gain some life, and then lose it to.
Yeah, it depends on how the attacks come here.
Look at that stack of lands. Look at that stack of tapped lands.
We haven't used the Ren and Six's turn yet,
No.
so he may not want to block a squirrel
Yep.
if he wants to be able to attack back. Yeah, he's made that decision. He wants to be able to attack back, so probably gonna have to with this goad.
Went.
Yeah. Goad like Toad.
Yeah.
And then Tanner's got the Malcolm in hand.
We're just going to check up, get that Fiery Islet back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a really rough spot for Luke. His Ephemera being in the graveyard really hard. Spellseeker here doesn't really get to do as much.
Yeah. Now on the bright side, that pyrokinesis was, he did use the pyrokinesis.
Yep.
If he goes for it here, shields are down. Just a Malcolm and a Fiery Islet in Tanner's hand.
Yep. He's been forgetting to add the loyalty onto.
On the squirrel rolls, yeah.
Yeah, that does plus the dog's unkillable. As is in most universes, you want the dog to live.
Oftentimes it kills itself.
Dogs have been known to that. They run in
Yeah.
front of cars.
Yeah. Chasing squirrels.
Chasing squirrels.
You roll for that squirrel and then you get hit by the car.
Yeah. In this case, if he hit the 3 or 4 on that, he's going to be able to 9 Luke out of nowhere next
Yeah,
turn.
I think Luke is under the impression this is his last turn.
Yes,
in the game,
correct.
If he doesn't win, or at least cast Time Walk. So he's fetched a land in response to his Archives trigger. Just trying to get some percentage points there on the draw.
I don't even know what he's probably just looking for Spellseeker, because if he Spellseekers, he can cast it, get Time Walk, cast Time Walk, and figure things out next turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You buy a turn, you gain 3 more life off this Solitude. You hit Throne of the Dead 3. You get another turn.
Yeah, exactly. That's 3 mana. Are we Spellseekering?
Cycling a Spara's Headquarters.
Come on.
Drawing another card here. Trying to find a way out of this.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
Luke generally doesn't like the game to go this long with no board. He usually
And no
has
cards in hand. Really.
Yeah.
He's
4 mana.
Oh, we got the
Metamorph.
Metamorph. Yeah.
Are we copying Uro, or are we copying the more
More Solitude. Yeah.
Okay.
Solitude is the cowbell of Luke's deck.
Yeah.
We are getting more.
You just gotta bang on it.
Yeah.
Get all the value you can out of it. Are we just passing turn now?
Looks like it, yeah. Kind of a rough spot for sure. If he rolls the 4 or the 5 on the comet, he's just dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because he'll take 9, and then he just gets to swing with the squirrels.
Yeah.
Or
He'll
ping him with the
gain
red
3
and
off the
6.
squirrels.
No, but he'll ping him with the red and 6 and win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the planeswalkers are going to deal the damage here if he can hit the 3 or 4.
And I don't believe Luke even has a card in hand. I'm trying to. No, I don't see anything.
If he high rolls if he gets a 5, he'll be able to return the Pyrohemia.
That's a 3.
3. 4 is the
Pyrokinesis.
lava axe.
Yeah. I don't think he can get the pyrokinesis because the mana cost is too high.
Is it?
Yeah.
If he gets a
It's a 2.
Okay, just more squirrels.
Yeah, more squirrels.
This is a big dog.
This is a big dog. Yeah.
I have a big dog. I know
yeah,
a big
you,
dog.
you also have a little dog.
I do. I have 2 dogs. They are of vastly different sizes.
Yeah. One is enormous and one is essentially a rat token.
She is a rat token. I have a Chinese crested named Sausage, and a Great Dane named Roland.
Is that a consider?
Yeah, he's thinking about it.
That's a weird art. I don't know what that
is
art is,
that?
but I think it's a consider. He
Is
put
that
one
a
into the
kid?
great.
Yeah,
Might have been enough. Yeah, it's a consider.
man, we're just drawing tons of cards with this Fiery Highlight. He's basically playing it for land every turn and then cycling it immediately.
Well, Ren and 6 be doing Ren and 6 things. Quick update from the other quarterfinal matches. So Ryan with Omni Show just sealed up game number 2
Wow.
against Jake. They're in Travis versus Joe. Travis has won the first 2 games. Joe in the 3rd game is in the middle of infinitely activating Golos with a Paradox engine in play. So, well, pretty good assumption that Joe is going to win that game. And
Yeah.
then Sean is now up 2 games to 0 against Mitch.
That Metamorph shouldn't have returned to hand. It should have died when he
no.
went to blink it.
No, that's a Phantasmal Image does that, not Metamorph.
Oh, that's okay. Sure. Sorry, my bad.
No, that's all right. So we swung with all the squirrels. We petty theft the Metamorph to take the initiative back to draw the card off the archives.
Yeah, haven't been able to hit that.
That was
damage
a
off
red
of
card
the-
that may be a Fury. Is that a Fury? It looked like a Fury.
I cannot tell.
Tanner's Fury would be in the Exile, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because it was played really early on and copied
Yeah.
with the.
He's got some strange art going on. It's hard to tell.
There's a Solitude again.
Interesting.
That
series-
Solitude is back on the escalator again.
Yeah, interesting to return the Metamorph there. Luke trying to hit this Throne of the Dead 3.
Yeah. If he does that, he can dig 10.
All right, we got the
and here's an Endurance.
If you want to know what my most hated card in the game is, it is Endurance. And-
Before blocks, a
blocks,
Path to Exile is going to take care of the Endurance.
That's an exile.
Does that mean that Luke is going to be able to hit the Throne of the Dead 3?
I think so.
Yeah,
Because the fairy can only block flyers.
So I think, if he has a Spellseeker in the top 10 cards, he's in a really good spot here.
Yes. He can get Time Walk, start doing the thing.
Depending on what this red card is in Tanner's hand.
If
I
it's
did not see
sorcery
what it
speed,
was.
he's. And if you're unfamiliar, Luke's sort of notorious for playing longer games. He
Yes.
he is very methodical about how he plays. He never gets rattled, never tilts.
And it looks like Tanner is going to take 3 here. So Luke is going to take the initiative back, and he'll go into the last room of the Undercity.
The Throne of the Dead 3.
The Throne of the Dead 3.
They're all dead.
Real quick, if you're just joining us, this is the Lawnlander Championships here at Game Castle in Ankeny, presented by OCM. My name is Blake. I'm here in the booth with Jeremiah and Stefan. We'll be doing commentary all day long. These players have played Canadian Highlander all year to earn their spot here at the Championships. This is a best of 5 format, so this is just game 1 here.
Still in game 1. This has been a really interesting game. Luke has been right on the
enjoyed
edge
this.
for quite a while now.
Yeah.
If he hits this Spellseeker, it's also going to have Hexproof, so he gets some leeway to do some things.
He always has an out. That's the beauty. Coiling Oracle.
Coiling Oracle is what we go for. So not really where Luke wanted to be, probably.
Shuffling up.
Yeah, it certainly would have been better if it was something like, well, the graveyard's gone now, right, because of the endurance. So it would have basically needed to be exactly Spellseeker there.
Yeah. Which, this far into the game, fairly decent chance of maybe in the top 10 cards,
Oh, yeah.
The players have drawn tons of cards already.
The downside to this is now Luke is shuffling all those cards that were on the bottom into his library.
Yeah.
It's just lowering his chance of getting
Finding
there,
it, for sure.
Still under the oppressive collar of this comment.
The comment with the ungodly amount of loyalty on it.
Yes, finds a tap land off the Coiling Oracle.
11 loyalty on this comment. Hey, if you like what you're seeing here, please make sure you give us a follow. Head over to YouTube. That's Old Cranky Man Collectibles at YouTube, and subscribe there. Every little bit helps us out.
So, I believe Luke's still just one card in hand. And we know it's a Metamorph.
Yes, and he's counting his mana, though.
I don't know what he drew for turn.
Resolve the Throne Trigger in the upkeep, so he would still get a draw card for turn.
Well, he had to take the initiative with the Solitude.
That's right.
So I don't, so we know he has a Metamorph. I don't know if he has a second card in hand or not. It's really hard to tell with Luke. No.
He does still have one card in hand, I believe.
Probably not a Spellseeker.
Or maybe not, actually. Those are his tapped lands.
Yeah, he copies the Coiling Oracle with the Phyrexian Metamorph.
And just hits another land off.
Look at how far up his sleeves are rolled now. They had slowly worked themselves up into his biceps.
He's showing off the guns.
Yeah.
Now.
He's sweating it now.
Yeah.
This comment.
Yeah. If Tanner goes on a tear with this comment, he can just deal him 11 and then deal him 9 and then.
Well, 111 is going to be enough.
For sure.
A single conversion of 11 damage generally can get you there. We like Hidetsuku's second, right? Oh man, even just the squirrels are so much. This is So he's gonna
this
be able to gain
this will. No, he doesn't get to gain any.
This will leaves him dead to Ren at 6.
Yeah, this will knock Luke down to 1, and then the Ren and 6 can just finish him off. So
All
that's
right,
going to
going to
do
game
it for
2.
game number 1.
Oh yeah.
This is best of 5 though, so winner's got to win 3 games. We'll be right back with game number 2.
Here we go. Game 2 getting started.
Game 2. So Tanner got the first one. Kind of grounded out,
Yep. And he had to mulligan a bit. Down to 5 Luke mulligan to 5.
Yeah, not the way Luke wants to start.
No.
Starts with a mom, gets a Chain Lightning.
Chain Lightning immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Tanner has to do that. If you don't Chain Lightning it, it's just
That
gonna
mom
go
will buy
forever.
time.
Yeah.
Time. Man, Luke misses his second land drop. So,
Oh no. This may be a quick
we'll
one.
start, yeah.
Yeah. Unless Luke gets some real thick hits off the top. And there's land. Okay. Scalding Tarn.
So we may play a game of Magic here.
Yeah. Scalding Tarn. Nice hot tub, really. Like, there's Sulfur Springs that I think is it's got the little devil in it.
Yeah.
I feel like that looks comfy.
If you visit Yellowstone, they specifically tell you can't cook food in there.
Really?
Yeah.
I want
Apparently
to.
that was a thing. At some point in history, people were cooking food in the sulfur.
Okay. But wait, what if I sous vide?
I don't know. You're not technically cooking, right?
I mean, sous vide is, you're just warming it to
you're
temp.
just getting there, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not actually submerging it in the water directly.
Those Rangers...
Or is that
no
Mana
sense of
Leak?
humor. That was a Mana Leak, yep.
Yeah. Luke's answer is sort of coming in clutch here. Just
we've
making
got
land drops, holding up mana.
The White Tower of Ecthelion.
Wow.
Right into the
Ligma. The Ligma on 2. This is going to end the game real quick. You'd be shocked at how fast this...
Yeah, it's one of those cards that even on 1, a lot of times, if you can take the Monarch...
Tanner does have to tap mana for that.
Yeah.
Somebody's in a good mood out there. Oh, in case we didn't say it, Sean took the round against Mitch
yeah,
in
he
3
beat him
games.
3-0. Apparently, meltdown was
Yep.
it came. It showed
So
up.
I'm gonna say this. It does it does hurt, but this is the reason that known decks are so important.
Yeah.
Like, Sean was able to meta correctly for his round 1 and ensure that he would get to round 2.
And I'm just going to go ahead and assume that Mitch had a Thibodeau's Crusade in his deck to destroy all
Oh,
goblins.
sure, yeah.
But maybe just didn't draw it,
Yeah. I mean, I would if I were him.
I mean,
Go for that goblin hate. Or, I mean, here's the thing. While Mitch has a really light black splash, he could have put in the Plague Engineer.
oh, sure.
Like
yeah.
and done that. That could have been an option. And while it's not necessarily a direct synergy, so did Luke copy one of the soldier tokens?
He did.
And
He
took
copied-
the
He
monarch.
copied one of the knight tokens. He took the monarch, and then he found Mana Confluence to cast
The preordained.
Preordain. Yeah. So
Not ponder.
Luke looking to make a game out of it, but taking a little bit of damage off the mana base now.
Those knights get to continue swinging too.
Yeah, and they're trample. They're tramplers.
Why did they give them keywords? They gave them 2 keywords: haste and trample.
The haste makes sense to me because you want to be able to get the monarch.
I get that, but they made him trample too.
The trample's a little weird. I assume they just don't want mana dorks getting in the way, but I don't know.
If you're trading for a mana dork off of one of these, you're having a bad time already.
Yeah.
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 This is
This is one of the format-defining cards at this point.
Now
Fourth Era
yeah.
Legacy. It is potentially the best win condition for a control deck that Wizards has ever printed.
very funny. It's control decks have added red for this card now.
Yeah.
And you just then also get to include the burn spells. You get to include, if you want to go into it, you can put in the breach.
Yeah.
Kind of get some real cool value shots. And breach isn't a combo card all the time. You can just breach value.
Yeah, Tanner
Hey,
still
look.
just pouring it on. Goes
Look,
like
it's
the Fable.
me.
Yeah, another Thibodeau's Crusade target too.
Yeah. Yeah. The 2/2 treasure making goblin off of the reflection of Kiki Jiki. Oh, we got a green
We got a green sun for 3. Yeah.
Next
So Luke fighting back a little bit here.
not giving up, not
Yeah.
tilted, not
At 3 mana green creature here.
Yeah.
Be interested to see what he gets. Probably just something that blocks well.
endurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna stay in his lane, thriving,
Yeah.
hydrated. And endurance is gonna eat that graveyard. It's gonna block pretty decently,
Yeah.
and like kind of buy him some time. He's at 10 life now. If he can start whittling down some of these creatures by having them attack through it,
His mana base does now support going for the Uro.
and there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Didn't even consider it. So he's gonna gain 3, draw a card, be able to
Potentially put a
play
land
another
in play.
land.
Yeah.
Depends
And
on
because
what he draws.
he has that Yavimaya in play that Plains can tap for green.
True.
Yeah.
Next turn he gets to come back. He's got 5 cards in graveyard right now.
Yeah.
Just ready to go. And so this is sort of a 6 life buffer ultimately.
Yeah. And he's taking 6 damage next turn, and he needs it.
Yeah.
Really rough spot. And also on the other side of the table, Tanner does have Caracas in play, right? The White Tower Macbellion.
Oh, that is Caracas.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, that's sort of interesting. I don't think Luke cares
No,
if he
just
returns
wants
to
to
hand.
dig. Yeah.
He'll cast it again.
Luke very much in tune with the fact that here I am. I have to draw my combo to win the game.
Yeah.
So I need a Spellseeker to get my time walk, and then take another turn. I need some things to go right in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, he needs 6 mana to combo with the Spellseeker.
Yeah.
He's in a rough space. So he's up to 13 now.
Yeah. He did get a land to put into play with the Euro.
Yeah. Not tracking life totals accurately at the moment. Ooh.
All right, so we got the Git probe going out, and we see a Coiling Oracle, a Remand, and a card I don't know in the middle. That may be a Scavenging Ooze. Yes, it is Scavenging Ooze. So it appears that perhaps Tanner missed his Saga trigger.
Did he?
Played the sorcery.
Oh, sure.
Before he picked up his Saga. So
Yeah, that saga trigger is at the beginning of turn.
Yeah.
It is not a May.
Beginning of first main phase, yeah.
Yeah, which is really nice for a lot of like design decisions. You get to like float mana if you have an Urza Saga. You get to utilize you can make like sacrifice moves.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to keep track of when you play these omniscient decks. Because if you have the initiative, that happens right away.
Yeah.
That happens during your upkeep, and then this happens at the beginning of your main phase, and then your monarchy happens at your end step.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of dumb little triggers with these mini games.
Initiative, Monarch,
Yeah.
sagas, and then you throw in additional board states. Like you have to track which room in the dungeon you're in. You've got to make sure that you're keeping track of all the life totals. You got your sticker deck. You got your inventions deck.
Yeah, these so many little mini games going on here. Now I think Tanner has this game locked up. He has the Force of Negation in his hand.
Yeah,
too.
he does.
And I think that takes away most of Luke's outs.
Look at these great tokens.
But I would never count Luke out.
No.
So I'm not going to say that, but
The Force of Negation sort of seals it.
it makes it very difficult for Luke to win, I think.
I think what they ruled was it went to the second chapter and Tanner just didn't utilize
Yeah, he didn't
it.
get to use
The pitch and draw.
right because he's already seen the top card with the gift robe. So
Luke is fetching. He's putting himself on dead. He's dead on board now.
he is. He has an arrow in the yard.
Yeah, it's
So
still
he's not in a happy place for sure.
committing your entire turn to gaining 3 life and drawing a card to something that's going to get Caracased is rough.
Yeah.
Like the known information now. If Luke spends his turn playing a land, casting Uro, he wipes out his own graveyard. He'll gain 3 life, draw a card. Yes, he may be able to play another land, but is that really where he wants to be? Is he just treading water?
He is certainly not where he wants to be.
No, we're drowning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke's deck is at its best when your opponent cannot respond on the stack. Oh, that mana confluence is also rough. Woof.
Well, he's got the Avamaya.
Oh, that's true.
So
yeah, it's not
he
a city
doesn't
of
have
glass.
to take damage, but he's going to opt to take damage here. I think no, he's not. He's using it for the green.
Yep. So he's going to draw, maybe make another land drop. He hasn't made his first land drop yet. It is in play now, but Tanner gets to bounce it. And if he has a lightning bolt, he's going to be able to flip this the reflection, flip into reflection next turn.
Yeah.
Man, it's looking real rough for Luke.
Yeah, Luke is on combo or bust for sure, and he's got to combo through a force, and he's shocking and a temple garden.
Woof.
So he has some kind of plan here. So his life total is actually, I believe, 7 now.
Yeah. Tanner's got it written down correctly.
Yeah. Both these fellas avid users of pen and paper. They do not like this.
We call them tournament grinders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are bouncing it back to hand at end of turn, fetching for Tanner, going to 14.
Yeah. Tanner just picking up a Triumph.
At this point, we're just going through the motions. We're shuffling deck. And any kind of, like, Luke can replay the Omnath or the Uro next turn, let it go to graveyard, but he doesn't have enough cards in graveyard to recast it. It's just a redraw.
Yeah, he definitely, so he did choose to play this land untapped. He has some action. What it is, I don't know.
Path?
Yeah, potentially get lost.
Potentially.
I'm assuming that whatever it is going to save him at least 2 damage. You know?
Yeah, Cam, big Ligma. That is what Steve Jobs died of. Ligma.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Who's Steve Jobs?
I do know Steve Jobs.
Oh my God.
He took all of his salary in stock options. He got paid $1 a year by Apple.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I always love the stories of his. There's Get Lost. Yeah.
I feel like I played Luke so many times now. I just know what he's doing.
Yeah.
It never helps me. I just know that I'm dead.
And yet Tanner is over here unfazed by it. I never win either, and I'm just like, how is this man winning? All right, going to game 3.
Yeah, scooping them on up. Head of the third game.
This is sort of why we're playing best of 5.
Yeah.
It's not over. Luke has another shot at it, another bite at the apple.
Rough series of mulligans for Luke.
Yeah, going to 5 there.
And keeping the one-lander. He did draw lands, but then he almost flooded. You know what I mean?
That's wild.
So, rough game for Luke, but variance will get you. That's what happens when you play 100
Yeah,
card
it tends
formats.
to.
And the top decks from the initiative deck have proven to be very powerful
Yep.
again,
And we can rally. Obviously, Luke has those powerful
Yeah.
creatures, has blink spells. I feel like we just haven't seen his deck show up.
Yeah.
Having been killed by him many times, you and I both.
Yeah.
We've seen it come. We've seen it show up.
I think in that first game, he was a little bit unlucky not to hit the Spellseeker off the throne.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes Luke just shows up your house, like his deck shows up your house with a baseball bat, takes your knees, and you lose quickly.
Yeah.
And in this series, Tanner has sort of been able to have the counter magic at the correct time, really have the counter play, and he's played against Luke a lot too. So there's this understanding of how the deck functions.
There's no, there's no secret to Luke, right, about what he's doing and what he's trying to do to you. There's no secret there, but there is inevitability if you let the game go long enough.
Sure. So, real quick update from the other quarterfinal matches. Sean, our Goblins player, has defeated Mitch playing Steel Stompy in 3 games. Mitch said that Sean drew Meltdown in 2 games.
Correct.
So, also in the Death and Taxes versus Paradox Academy match, Joe has tied it up. Both players tied.
No.
Both players tied 2-2 now.
Going to game
He
5.
rallied?
To game number 5.
Oh my gosh.
And then
You love to see it.
I do love to see it. And then in Jake versus Ryan, that is our Omni Show versus Naya Kiki Pod deck. Jake took down game number 3.
Wow.
So they are going to game number 4 and potentially game number 5.
These have been some really cool matches. I sort of called that the match between Goblins and Stompy would be over
The
fastest.
first one done, yeah.
Aggro match over quick. Got to have time for lunch.
And who got game number 2 here?
It was Tanner.
Tanner.
Yeah, sort of a
Mulligan down to
decisive.
5, I believe.
Yeah, he did. Luke
kept
Mulligan.
the one-lander.
Yep.
Really an awkward game for Luke. He didn't have any mana guys, any mana dorks either.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So he just got
Hang on.
Ligmud.
There's a carry added.
Yep.
Can we talk really quick? You just referred to them as mana guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the new term that we need to use.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm okay
so,
with it.
Yeah, so Luke on a mana guy
I love
there.
to coin terms.
Yeah.
Real quick, if you're just joining us, my name is Blake, joined here in the booth by Stefan and
Hey.
Jeremiah.
Hello.
This is the Lawnlander Championship. So these players have been playing Canadian Highlander all year long to earn their spot here. Please go ahead and give us a follow if you haven't done so already. Head over to YouTube. Check out the YouTube channel, Old Cranky Man Collectibles. We got plenty more Magic coming in 2024.
Yeah, this is a great way to end the year, man. This
Yes.
weekend's been a riot.
Excellent.
We got to do the OCM championship yesterday.
Yesterday.
I was gonna say last weekend, but it was yesterday. We were here for 9 hours in the booth, just getting sweaty, watching some good Magic. Here back again today. Just
I could do this every day, to be honest.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's work, but it feels
joy.
It's enjoyable work. So
and Luke is actually this is exactly what he wants to do. These 2 mana dorks are way more effective in his deck than a 1 mana dork.
Yeah.
Especially carry-added. It's gonna stick around. It's gonna block X2s or 2Xs for days.
Yeah.
it's really hard to remove with typical removal spells as well with the hexproof. So
It's very likely that win or lose at the end of the game, that carried will still be sitting there.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think Tanner plays a lot of Wraths in the deck.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is on any
Yeah,
of them.
I don't
Let's
think
take
so.
a look at Tanner's deck list. You can see players' point spread on the right side there. Of course, Canadian Highlander, you can play all of the powerful cards, Recall, Moxen, Time Walk, etc. But you're only allowed 10 points.
Yeah, Luke has opted to play a power card. The Time Walk. Which is so we have other extra turn spells, but they generally start at 5 mana.
Luke does play Time Warp in his list.
Oh, he also has Time Warp.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a 5-mana Time Walk from Tempest block that got reprinted.
And it does not look like Tanner has any of the wraths today. So
Yeah.
no, what is it called? Terminus, no
Yeah.
Supreme Verdict, nothing like that.
Unsurprised. He has the
This is a
Pyrogenia.
Gitaxian
Yeah,
probe
we
to
are
show
getting
off the
probe.
hand here.
Okay.
So we see a Questing Druid, a Stifle. I love
Wow.
to see it. A Leyline Binding, a Triumph, a True Name Nemesis, a Path to Exile, and a Besage.
Besage. That is a Doctor Who path.
That is a Doctor Who.
It looks so much like Journey to Nowhere.
It
does,
yes. Journey to Nowhere is a sweet piece of art. So like that little like ethereal tortoise kind of thing. Yeah, very cool.
Hey,
stuff.
where you going?
So
Nowhere.
True Name Nemesis, one of the cards that Luke has a hard time killing.
Most decks do, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them do, but Luke gonna have a very hard time dealing with that one. And if Tanner is able to mount any sort of other pressure at all, Luke might be in trouble.
Yeah, any
one
kind of
thing-
equipment is good on that.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that in this matchup, that True Name is dangerous because Luke has a lot of clones. And
He
they're
does.
very good on True Name.
That's true.
Yeah, because you... Wait.
Yeah,
You can
for
ma- can
for
you
both
name it?
Metamorph and Image, you do not target it at all. So
It
you just
just
choose a creature
Oh,
as it
wow.
enters. So, Phantasmal Image can copy True Name Nemesis.
Oh, we got a
considered
ring.
that.
Oh, he's got the
Luke
ring.
is going to play the One Ring, so he'll get protection from everything. I would imagine he's going to be drawing.
Okay, so that was not a created at all. That was a Wall of Roots.
Is it a Wall of Roots? Okay, perfect.
Oh, okay.
This is actually another fantastic card. It is... While you're able to kill it, oftentimes it's not going to be with a burn spell. It's going to block 4 power creatures real well.
Tanner is going to seek the beast in response a Caracas and a Mock Sapphire.
Yeah, that beast should be... That
is
card
a
should be
white
in
Tyrant
exile.
Repellent.
That is a Caracas. It looks like Tanner is going to play both of those cards.
So that card should be on an adventure, not
Yeah,
on
the
the
Questing
graveyard.
Druid should be
That
on
is,
it.
I believe that's an adventure token underneath it.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
No, that is a Prismatic Vista. He
Yeah,
did
no.
place that card into his graveyard, but
Gotcha.
We're gonna make sure that that's. It is for them to track. I'm not gonna try to figure. this
no,
out.
it's not an option. It goes into exile on an adventure.
Yeah.
So Leyline Binding is going to come down and take care of this One Ring, though.
Yeah, the one that honestly, saving him a lot of life. I've seen Luke copy his One Ring to kill it on many occasions because it will kill him. One of the funnier things about the One Ring in our format is having one is a giant downside.
It can be for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, you can kill yourself. I have killed myself.
Yeah,
All right, so we have a White Plume coming down and getting stifled. I believe is
Yep.
what's happening here.
yeah, we're stifling the initiative
Yeah.
trigger, which you can and should do. Luke was aware of this stifle and sort of playing into it.
Yeah.
And it's still like even on the stifle here, it's a 3/3 that effectively has vigilance for 3 mana. And getting that stifle out of his hand is going to stop him from stifling a spell seeker trigger. It's going to stifle a rebound. It's going to get that so he can't stifle a rebound trigger.
Yeah, I think Luke put him in a position to make a choice, right? Because when you take the initiative and your opponent has a True Name Nemesis, you're very unlikely to hold it. You know?
Yeah.
But it turns out Luke has the Ephemerate. He's going to go for this initiative trigger anyway.
Why not?
Real quick update from off camera. Travis has won in 5 games
my
against
gosh.
Joe. So winner of this match will play against Death and Taxes in the semifinals.
This is a rough match for... I think whoever wins this is going to be a rough match.
For Travis.
For them. Travis is like...
So I've gone back and watched some of these games. And I think Travis, his matchup against Luke is actually
You think so?
terrible for Travis.
Go on.
The games where that Travis won, he did so by top decking balance late game. And it was really poor variance for Luke. I don't think in a 5-game stretch he's going to have a great time of it. Now, that being said, Travis's deck is different than it was before.
Sure.
You know?
I wonder how many cards.
But Travis largely does not play things that, like Archon of Emeria, that say play 1 spell per turn.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Luke, his deck does a really good job of just gumming up the board.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Travis, again, does not have a ton of evasion either.
Yep. And like the blink effects on a lot of these creatures sort of make them impervious to targeted removal, like Path
Right.
and Swords. That and Luke just has the ability to grind us out and we saw it, right? Like that game 2 should not have taken as long as it did.
Yeah.
Luke was able to just like kind of clutch on by his fingertips, really take it as long as he could to see if he could dig into it.
Yeah, and in a lot of ways, in that first game, Luke maneuvered the game to where he wanted it.
Yeah.
He just never got paid off, you know?
It's the same for both games. Like he was really trying to direct the game. A lot of these creature combo decks, you want to like you're guiding the game in a specific direction as much as you can.
All right, so here comes an Eldamri's call.
Yeah, this is it. This should be game, unless Tanner has a counter spell.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how many cards Tanner has in his hand. We've been kind of going on and on about other matchups, but
I mean, the true name, he could go get a count. If Luke doesn't have the mana for it, he could go and get a Phantasmal Image and copy the.
Yeah, he did pick the Spellseeker.
Oh, he just got the Spellseeker. Yeah, that's. I mean, go for it, right? He has the Ephemerate on rebound right now.
Right, so he can untap, play the Spellseeker, go for the Neoform the White Plume into the Timeless Witness, and go from there.
So he's gonna because the Ephemerate's gonna resolve before he can cast the Seeker.
Right. So
kind of awkward there.
A little bit.
It is what it is, right?
Picking up another initiative trigger is not the worst.
No,
it gives him an extra mana with the treasure, which I think makes the combo a little more locked in.
Yeah, we need the mana. He's going to be able to scry to you to kind of lock down that. We're calling the judge here. Do we miss a? We're trying to figure out in what.
I think we're ordering triggers. Yeah.
Got it. You get to pick. If it's at the beginning of upkeep, whoever's the target of the triggers gets to choose.
Yeah.
Which is. Interestingly, I've seen a lot of this come up recently, especially when it comes to damage doubling effects, where if you're the target of the damage, you get to choose how those stack.
Yeah.
Which is sort of counterintuitive. But it makes sense in some ways. Like, you're going to mitigate as much damage as possible against yourself. Luke may just have this locked up now, though.
I think if Tanner doesn't have interaction and we don't have something bizarre going on with the judge right now, Luke is going to go infinite on this turn.
Yeah.
That treasure token, I think, gives him the last mana he needs.
Yeah, he should have. Unless
real quick, if you're just joining us, please make sure you give us a follow. We've got all kinds of Magic the Gathering coming in 2024. You're watching the Lawnlander Championships. That's our Canadian Highlander series. These players have been playing Canadian Highlander all year long to earn their spot here. Head on over to YouTube, Old Cranky Man Collectibles at YouTube, and subscribe there. Every little bit helps.
Yeah. I do appreciate all the viewers we've had this weekend in both of the tournament series. We had a lot of people following us, subscribing to YouTube. It's really nice just to see that community support come out for us and for the community here.
Heck yeah.
Luke sort of figuring out how to sequence this. He was able to get the Spellseeker off of the Eladamri's call.
Yep.
Eladamri's call to 1. He's gonna have it come for me. And now he's sort of figuring out how to resolve the upkeep trigger. So he's got an initiative and he's got a rebound on that Ephemerate.
Yeah.
Which means that if he's going to be able to get the mana... So, okay, we're ephemerating. We're going to be able to ephemerate this move.
I believe he does need to get down to the treasure token, and that's why he's making this play, to have the mana to go infinite this turn.
And I don't...
Yep, he'll need 6 mana to... Spellseeker, and then the Ephemerate is actually in the graveyard now, so it's gonna be kind of weird.
Yeah, he can
Spellseeker for the Neoform the White Plume to the Timeless Witness.
Sure. Ephemerate Spellseeker, get Time Walk, cast Time Walk. Luke has done, I guarantee you, every permutation of this style of combo, and he knows
Spellseeker for Neoform. That's 5 mana, and then Neoform into the Timeless Witness to get back the Ephemerate, so that's 6 mana, and then Ephemerate, the Spellseeker, he needs 8 mana to be able to do the play that you just said.
Yeah, if he's going to go off this turn.
He can't go off this turn with the Ephemerate in the graveyard. He needs 8 mana to do that.
There's the land.
He has 7. Yeah,
He's got 7
needs,
mana
he needs
right
8. The Wall of Roots represents only a single mana.
And he just played his land for turn,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
I don't believe that he can go infinite this turn, but
We'll see.
He can probably set up something crazy.
We're just
So we're going
copying
with the
the
Metamorph.
True Name Nemesis.
Oh, he's just speed running the dungeon.
Yeah. Or is he copying the White Plume?
Maybe the true name nemesis.
I would copy True Name.
Maybe he's not doing either one.
The
We're waiting
white
for a
plume
response.
is the white plume was my assumption as to what
Yeah.
he was copying there. That's what I meant when I said speed run the dungeon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
we're looking to pick up this 4-1.
yeah,
Nice.
if we were talking a bit about Luke's deck not showing up in games 1 or 2. This is his deck showing up now.
Yeah.
It's come around. He doesn't need the combo to win. He just has to party. He's just got to show up with some creatures that do a lot of stuff when they enter the battlefield, create lots of board like stuff.
Great game objects.
Yeah, game objects. Look at all these game objects he has: lands, creatures, tokens, the initiative.
So I think this Metamorph is still on the stack.
Yeah.
I don't think he. I don't think we know
Yep,
what's
I
going
believe
on here.
Tanner is fetching here to have a response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this may be why Luke isn't going for a combo. He's just going for a board win. Oftentimes, he doesn't have to commit to a combo, especially if he's playing against a stack-based deck that can have a response, because he doesn't need to. A Soul Herder wins just as well. Your own True Name Nemesis. And this, what's funny is, Jay, you called this
Yeah.
specifically. You were saying that this is a liability. The True Name is a liability.
Yep.
Yeah. Now he may just hop down and grab a 4-1 Skelly. You know.
What do we? So it resolved.
And then he is just paid
3 mana.
3 mana, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're deciding what.
No,
he's showing him as a
he's
choose.
showing him that
he's not a
Metamorph
target.
can in fact copy
Yep.
True Name Nemesis.
Yeah. So he has his own True Name. I wonder who he's going to choose. What opponent is Luke going to choose? Oh, Tanner? Oh my God, guys!
So here is
Yeah.
that 3 mana from Luke,
What's interesting is like Tanner can now.
and he's following that up with a Glass Pool Mimic.
to
So
copy
does he have
another
two?
White Plume?
Does he have 2 True Name Nemesis now?
Yeah, and that is the danger of this card against this deck. Like I
Yeah,
said,
like
Oh
you
my
were saying,
God,
yes.
yeah.
Luke has so many clone effects that playing creatures with relevant text is often dangerous against him.
Which is funny that it wasn't relevant in the first 2 games because he never got to get there.
Yeah.
Like game 1 was way grindier. Tanner just got to be able to, really take over and not let Luke do anything. Game
Yep.
2, Luke kind of mulliganed to New Oblivion.
Yep.
This game is it, and this is why we're doing best of 5.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting. Luke decided that these True Name Nemesis were better than Throne of the Dead 3 because he could have hit it this turn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they're 6 damage every turn.
All right, so here comes the Git Probe. I'm going to get some information. We got a Skyclave Apparition and a Spellbinder.
Yep.
Or Spellseeker, I'm sorry, in Luke's hand.
So we would in the next room we're gonna make the 4/1 skeleton with menace.
Yep.
3/6. Oh, we're just scooping
yeah.
it up.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's
Tanner sees
game.
the writing on the wall there.
All right, that is fantastic. We're getting a game
Yeah.
4. Love it. We're gonna let these players shuffle up, and we'll be right back.
See if Luke remembers to grab his ring.
Oh yeah, put a ring on it.
All right, Twitch, we're back. It's time for game number 5. Being joined in the booth now by Mitch. Mitch lost in the quarterfinals to Sean playing Goblins.
Mitch was like, "I'm not gonna talk." Like, too bad. You're here.
You're here, Mitch. Say hi at least.
Hey,
Mitchell.
Hey, here's Malcolm.
Oh,
This is the card I was talking about during their first game. Malcolm,
our sexy siren.
It's a sexy siren. It's a 2 mana 2/1 with flash and flying, and
They
whenever
put so
it
many words
whenever
on
it
it.
deals damage, you can draw a card and discard a card, and then if it has 4 counters on it, you get to cast a card that you discarded for free.
Ugh. They just put so many words on cards.
Omniscitive with a high roll here. Look at that, starting off with a land and a mox.
3 points for a reason.
Turn number 1. What is this card he's resolving? Is it Brainstorm? He did just draw 3
I
cards.
promise you, I've never seen. Is there a recall?
I've never. No, he doesn't have recall in his deck.
Oh, he's not. Oh, that's right. He's not a recall anymore. Is that a brainstorm from?
I think it's a brainstorm because he's putting 2 cards back
Okay,
on top.
he's resolving it like a brainstorm.
It's from Doctor Who or something. I've
Yeah.
never seen that art before. But
He has a lot of weirdo art choices in his deck.
maybe digging for that second land. Looks like
Yeah.
he found it. Let me get in for
Just
2.
why not? Just slam in.
Yeah, you get to draw a card and discard a card.
Evasion is a real deal. And like the life totals matter here. If Tanner wants to win this, he can't just win it by doing nothing. He has to commit to the board.
He's a high roll deck, so
Yeah.
he's going to come out fast with all these crazy threats, and hopefully have a little bit of interaction to protect the queen.
Are we confirming that this is the queen?
The Malcolm,
My queen?
Luke's got a second land here.
Playing the Beseiju.
Look like he has a play for his turn too. He's just going to pass back over to Tanner.
Yeah, we're on. We have all 3 colors, but having to play the Beseiju, sort of rough. Sort of the worst mode of Beseiju is playing it as your land for.
No,
turn.
I think Beseiju is great. If you get to play it as a forest, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 makes it better than any other disenchant that's ever been printed.
That is all right. Fair enough. Being able to play a disenchant as a forest is fine, I suppose.
I also don't know that it's doing a ton in this matchup.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I guess
don't think so.
the targets aren't as juicy, right? You're not blowing up a Soul Ring kind of sucks.
He doesn't have a Soul Ring in his deck, so he
would
wouldn't be able to blow that up.
Sorry. Stop giving me guff.
Leyline Binding,
weak.
maybe. You
Yeah,
know?
Leyline
maybe.
Binding is a solid thing he could kill with the
If he had that last game, get the ring back
Yeah.
under that would have been sick. But
Oh, we're seeing the Malcolm coming out, huh?
Yeah, He played it on turn 1 off of
Gotcha.
his mocks.
yeah.
Powerful magic.
Our little siren buddy getting in.
The
doing
dog,
some
the
work.
dog got sent to pasture.
Oh no.
Got sent upstate.
Hey, if you're just tuning in Twitch, please give
Bless,
us a
bless.
follow. Head over to YouTube, Old Cranky Man Collectibles at YouTube. Subscribe there. Every little bit helps. Luke's got a fairy mastermind, so Tanner gonna think about drawing that extra card for just a second.
yeah. Actually, I have a fairy mastermind. You wanna
Is the
consider
draw
that?
trigger from Malcolm an option?
I don't know.
I also don't know.
This is a brand new card, and we have 3 people on their phones, like immediately looking up this card. They print so many good cards these days. I never know what any of them do.
Well, yeah, it's always, the counters on it are chorus counters. They're, it makes the whole thing kind of weird too.
Yeah, they're not
It
plus 1
is
plus
not
1.
a maze.
It
It's
is not a
maze, not
maze,
a
so if
choice.
he connects with us here, he is going to have to just discard a card, right? He won't get to draw a card because of the Fairy
He'll
Mastermind.
still get to draw, but Luke will also get to draw.
Yeah.
Oh, the Fairy Mastermind is the one that makes you
Yeah.
draw whenever.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
a
not
it's
the
like a
yellow word
tiny
here.
consecrated space.
Yes.
Yep.
And it unfortunately does not Black Ragavan as originally designed.
Right, when they unveiled it during the Pro Tour,
Yeah.
the designer said he wanted it to be able to block
He wanted
Ragavan and
he wanted it to be a
live.
1/3.
Well, 1/3, yeah.
with flash and flying. Good God. The absolute atrocity that
Sounds
would-
fair to me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
The format's already hateful enough to X1s, and Flame Slash just
Flame
going to take care of
Slash is
that.
going to take care of the Fairy Mastermind.
And Luke chose not to block there. He could have. He had the option to trade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just fetching 18 all up. Yeah, this is, Luke not under a ton of pressure here, but Tanner getting to sculpt his hand and fill his
I don't know.
graveyard.
Tanner still has a stocked hand, and he's developing his board.
Remind me what the actual chorus counters do.
So if Malcolm has 4 or more chorus counters, you can cast the card you discarded for free.
That's absurd.
Yeah. So Malcolm is when he deals damage, you draw a card and discard a card.
Yep,
put a
slowly.
chorus counter on him, and then if he has 4 or more chorus counters, you can cast the card you discarded for free.
It's just a show and tell immediately, like a one-sided.
Omniscience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Why did they make this only 2 mana?
It's a fragile
It's
legendary
super-
creature.
super-
I
fragile,
guess
yeah.
it's, but like,
Super fragile.
if you can
with
back it up with
XP,
counter
yeah,
magic, that seems
ferocious.
busted.
Yeah. Sure.
If it just let you loot, that's still a very good card.
So is it better or worse than Ledger Shredder?
That's an excellent question. I think, it's
my
not as good as
question.
Ledger Shredder. I think
You don't
because-
think so?
No, Shredder triggers on both players. It gets bigger as its own.
I like
threat.
Malcolm better than Ledger Shredder.
I think Malcolm
It's
is
matchup dependent, I think.
I think Malcolm is a better card. I think the answer is not or. I think it's and.
Okay,
Sure.
sure.
They're both 1 and a blue. I really want to play them both.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Here comes the that Murktide we were wondering about. in game
Oh,
one.
baby. It's not going to be huge.
Yeah, this is just the third turn of the game. Tanner has put a ton of power into
So it's
play
the
already.
5/5 Murktide. That seems pretty good for 2 mana.
It's a solid turn 3 play. The 5/5 flyer.
This is that Malcolm has done a ton of work.
Luke
to power
has
this
a
up.
Teferi Time Raveler.
Yep.
It's gonna
bounce it.
the Murktide.
Wow. Great play, honestly.
Good play. I'm almost certain that Luke wanted to use that on Malcolm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
assuredly. It's still like, and so
It is one of his few outs to the Murktide
that
situation.
unholy heat
though,
probably going to take care of the Teferi. Or does Malcolm care if it connects with a person or a
player.
It's player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably going to finish this off
Or
with the
is
unholy
the
heat.
loot on attack?
It's when it deals damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And dealing with the Teferi is important for that 4 chorus counters, because if he doesn't deal with the Teferi, he's not going to be able to cast it while he discards it.
Sure.
It prevents, like, that's instant speed shenanigans.
He did draw the Unholy Heat there.
Yeah.
Discarding a prismatic ending, so yeah, the Unholy Heat will be able to take care of the Teferi.
Or is he just recast?
We'll see how much he cares, though. Is it just 2 cards in the graveyard? Did
Yeah.
he delve the rest of them away?
Yep.
So
We just got the good boy
he's
and the
pretty far away from being able to cast this Murktide.
4, 5, 6. Yeah.
There is a...
Consider.
Is that considered?
Yeah. This is a weird art again. This is one that Jay and I were talking about.
Yeah.
Ragavan's going to go to the graveyard, so he can cast the Murktide now.
Yeah. I don't think he got the draw on that consider, though. He forgot to draw a card.
Did he?
Yeah. He just looked at the top card, put it in the graveyard, and kept moving, I think. I mean, he's got a... If it's just mill a card off of 1 mana, that's pretty funny. Did you draw the card off of this? Actually, yeah, no. Forgot to draw the card.
I don't think whatever he picked up was better than the 6/6 flyer.
I don't think that, no. But it could have affected, like, a land drop.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't think he made his land drop that turn. Which is fine.
How many counters are on the Malphite?
It's 3 now.
3 chorus counters.
That's a real problem,
Yeah.
though, Mitch. Once it gets to 4, lights out. He's got a... What is that in hand? Is that a fairy and a Minsk and Boo?
Yeah.
That card seems okay. Hey, you guys ever seen Minsk and Boo get played against you? That card...
Insane game 3 or game 5 in Ryan versus Jake out there.
Yep.
Ryan has a Palantir of Orthanc in play, and Jake just
Oh,
let it
baby.
He milled an Emrakul the Promised in to deal Jake 13 damage. So
and he's still alive?
he is down to just 5 life.
Ju-
But still, the fact that it happened is pretty wild.
Yeah.
So next turn, Tanner has a. We saw the fairy, the
Brazen Borrower.
Brazen Borrower, and a Minskin Boo in hand. Minskin Boo going to end this game extremely quickly,
Yeah.
faster than the Murktide, I imagine.
Luke has this recruiter for Solitude.
What's funny is you guys were like, probably not going to be better than playing the Murktide, whatever he drew, and he drew a Minskin Boo, which I would probably have casted over the Murktide region.
Well, I mean, he just has this insane high roll game
Yep.
going right now. It's like every card in his hand is this wild
Caracas.
just this wild like threat,
Yeah.
and he can only play so many threats a turn.
So Caracas going to be able to deal with the Boo.
Or the Malcolm.
Or the Malcolm.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if the Caracas is going to be enough.
Well, he's got the Solitude in hand, too. So he's got, he's
fair.
got some things he can do. You know?
He's been making his land drops. He's still at a decently healthy life total.
Is Solitude what he picked up with the recruiter?
Yeah.
Here's Minskin Boo.
So Caracas is going to be able to deal with the Boo token.
I don't know if that's the right thing to do. If this Malcolm connects and gets a 4th chorus counter put on it, the card he discards gets to cast for free.
Yeah.
I think you're priced into bouncing the Malcolm.
even over this, like you could solitude the Malcolm for free.
The Murktide region is a real problem as well. I don't know if I'm super concerned about the Boo at the moment, but like I said, the Caracas has its work cut out for it. Even if he has
Yeah.
Caracas plus Solitude, I think Luke is in a rough spot.
So we're ticking up on the Boo. Let's see if Luke has a response here. Negative. We're just going to let it become a 4/4. You know, Boo is a giant miniature space hamster.
He's going for the eyes.
Yeah, it actually should have been an alien in its creature type. Because he is an alien, truthfully. That's not a lie. This is real lore.
So Luke is probably really going to go down into the tank here. Nope.
Okay, we're just bouncing.
Bouncing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think bouncing the Malcolm is what you want to do. You don't want that fourth chorus counter to get put on that
He's at
Malcolm.
5 life. This is so rough.
Yeah, Luke is in trouble.
If he makes his 6th land drop and has a spell seeker, he can win.
I mean, he's holding the Solitude maybe to hard cast if he has the
Yeah,
6th
I mean,
land,
fair.
you know.
I was gonna say he can bounce the Boo hard cast Solitude, get rid of the Murktide.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Minsk and Boo is not actually doing anything with the Caracas in play. Like
Yeah, that's true.
he can
Oh, right, because if he down ticks, he bounces the Boo in response, and it doesn't do anything. That's a good call.
The same scenario for if he pluses the Boo as well.
He just needs
Or
to make
pluses
his,
the Minsk
he
as
needs
well.
to make a 6 land drop here, and then he gets to hard cast it, have it up to block or attack into the Minsk and Boo to deal with it eventually.
Yeah.
Gain back some life too, which is super important.
Seems likely he doesn't have the land.
Tanner
I'm not
also
sure
has
if he's
Solitude.
Tanner
attacking
has
much, but-
a Solitude in hand with a land, and is that other card a Brazen Borrower?
Yes.
Yeah, he's had that in hand for a while.
Oh, he does have a City
Okay,
Grass.
okay.
I'm not sure if that's a land. It might be a Moloch.
Yeah, Moloch, probably don't want to deploy it immediately if you don't have to. Save it for a juicy target if you got other things to do.
Here
We're gonna
is
take a
5 mana, so must be that Solitude. Yep.
Yep. So we're gonna deal with the Murktide Regent. Yep. Exiling it. Tanner's gonna gain 6. Should be at 24, right? He was at 18. Just confirming. And now we're just sort of making Tanner make some rough choices here. He's probably going to take up the Minsk and Boo, not get to do anything. I mean, Luke's in a rough space, but he's sort of stabilizing here. And
Yeah, he has taken some very important first steps in being able to come back in this game. It looks like
is he attacking?
he is. Yes, I
Dang.
mean this Recruiter of the Guard's not doing anything. It
Right.
might as well be pressuring the loyalty on the Minsk. and
Yeah,
Boo.
and Boo is trampled. Yeah. So
Solitude, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Brazen Borrower. I'm not sure what that fourth card is.
The 4th card is the Malcolm.
we're just casting Brazen Borrower.
Still has the
Okay.
Malcolm in hand.
So in
Yeah.
return, he is presenting lethal here. So Solitude not going to be able to block this Brazen Borrower. The Caracas can take care of the Boo token, but
Take it down, bounce
need
it.
to be able to answer the Brazen Borrower as well.
Forcing the issue on the Caracas.
And
that is
it.
That's it, yeah.
Tanner is going to take this one down 3, 2, 1. He will advance to the semifinals and play against Travis Wilcoxon on Death
Wow.
and Taxes. The feature match for the semifinals is going to be the winner of Jake versus Ryan. That's Omni Show versus Kiki Pod. And they're playing against Sean playing Goblin. So we'll be right back with the semifinals in just a little bit.
Love you.